Minato Namikaze has been one of the most popular characters in the series. He is fan favorite character for a lot of people, but despite that, we still know nothing about him, his past, his parents, and this is the topic I want to talk about today. But before starting, I want to ask you all to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more. I hope all of you have a great day, and let's start the video. Before starting talking about his parents, first, let's talk about Kishimoto's original intention on Minato's character. I have started watching Naruto since 2008. I was only 6 years old when Naruto Part 1 was airing in my TV, and during that time, I was strongly believing that Minato was the strongest ninja in history of Naruto, and I think back then, it was quite obvious that Minato was constructed to be the most powerful character and the archetype for the noble, powerful, and admirable Hokage, whose steps Naruto was going to follow until the end of the series. Part 1 and early Shippuden built Minato's hype to impressive levels before it was decided that Hashirama was going to be the strongest Hokage, a retcon that only happened because of necessity. Hashirama needed to be overpowered because he had to rival Madara Uchiha, who was going to be the final villain of the series. This was also long before Kaguya was conceived. There were a lot of hints that suggested that. Firstly, for most of the series, including Shippuden, we were led to believe that the unleashed full nine-tailed fox was the most powerful, dangerous, and evil being in the world, the supreme incarnation of evil that everybody was scared of. It was said that the fourth Hokage was the one who defeated it, and it was stressed that nobody else could have done it. Minato was the archetype of the self-sacrificing hero. Secondly, when Hiruzen and Anko were discussing Orochimaru, Hiruzen claimed that nobody in the Leaf Village, not even himself, was capable of opposing him, to which Anko responded that the fourth Hokage could, if he were alive. Thirdly, when Orochimaru summoned the corpses of the past Hokage, Hiruzen was fine with the prospect of fighting the first and the second, as though they were safely below himself, but was terrified when he saw the coffin of the fourth, and hurried to prevent it from opening, whereas he did nothing to stop the previous two. Then, the reanimated first and second Hokage were spawning their jutsu against Hiruzen for a while, but couldn't accomplish much. Nobody was particularly impressed, and Hiruzen only admired Hashirama's technique because it was the technique he used to build the village, not because it was too powerful. However, when Hiruzen threatened to use the fourth Hokage's jutsu, which is the Demon Reaper seal, we saw that Orochimaru was scared for the first time in the series. Also, when Jiraiya, Tsunade, Shizune, and Naruto were eating in a restaurant and discussing the future 5th Hokage business, Jiraiya talked about the legacy of the 4th Hokage, saying he had the potential to become the strongest ninja of all times had he lived just a little longer. And lastly, during the training to add wind release to Naruto's Rasengan, Kakashi said that Naruto was the only ninja who had the potential to surpass the 4th Hokage, and during the fight with Kakuzu, Naruto again mentioned that he was the one person who was going to become even stronger than the 4th Hokage. Even at this late point, the 4th Hokage, not the first, was treated as the upper boundary and the archetype of the great ninja. Also notice how nobody ever mentioned Hashirama's strength, despite it turning out to be out of anyone's league later on, but everybody constantly praised Minato's power and genius. He was built entirely on hype for the biggest part of the series. He was almost the Sage of Six Paths equivalent in Part 1, a sort of mythological figure that everybody admired and hyped, but that we never actually saw since he died long ago. Because the series became much longer than originally expected, Kishimoto had to create new concepts and recycle old ones. Keeping Minato as the strongest was no longer viable after a certain point in time, because he had already milked Minato's potential to the limit, but still had a long story ahead of him to write. New characters must, as a general rule, surpass the previous ones in order to maintain the steadfast tendency of growth. And since he had milked Minato at the beginning, he had to resort to the still underdeveloped Hashirama and Tobirama for more. This is also the reason why the nine-tailed fox ceased to be the strongest force of evil. Right now, Minato's parents do not really have any significant role in the series. However, this was not always like this. As I said earlier, the creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto had different ideas about Minato Namikaze and his role in the series. In 2008, he gave an interesting interview to Shonen Jump magazine, where he was asked that now that it's officially known that Yondaime is Naruto's father, will you show more of Minato? And he answered, yes, definitely. I actually wanted to reveal more about Yondaime earlier, but other characters were in development, and some fights still had to be dealt with. And then he was asked, while we're at it, could you please tell us if Minato was the strongest shinobi that ever lived? And he gave a very interesting answer on that, and he said that it's a tricky question. As far as dead shinobis goes, then yes, he's the strongest. I'd say that Yondaime shares the #1 spot with him. As far as living shinobis goes, well, without going into many details, I'd have to say no. There's a couple of shinobis who are stronger than him. Later during that year, he also said that 4th Hokage's secret and bloodline will be shown, which means that Masashi Kishimoto was intending to make Minato's parents relevant, but he later changed his mind. But one thing is clear, even if he wanted to make Minato's parents relevant, it seems they were dead from the beginning of the story, since, if they were alive, I am pretty sure they would take care of their grandson. Living with grandparents is not something uncommon in Naruto world, since we know that Obito lived with his grandmother. Either way, Minato's parents have to be extremely powerful, because every Hokage came from an extremely strong family. For example, Hashirama and Tobirama were parents of Butsuma Senju, who was presumably very strong ninja. Hiruzen Sarutobi was the son of legendary Sasuke Sarutobi. Tsunade is grandson of Hashirama Senju and Mito Uzumaki. Kakashi is the son of Sakumo Hatake, the White Fang, and Naruto is the son of Minato and Kushina, and because of that, I don't think that Minato was exception on that. Also, it seems Kishimoto also had an idea of the Namikaze clan. We know that in Naruto, physical characteristics play a very big role in making clans distinguishable from each other. For example, most Uzumakis have red hair, Otsutsukis have white skin and gray hair. Majority of Uchiha and Hyuga clan members have dark blue or black hair. And it seems the physical characteristic of Namikaze clan is yellow hair and blue eyes. DNA of Namikaze clan is so dominant that it oppressed Uzumaki's clan's red hair in Naruto's case, and it also oppressed Hyuga clan's DNA in Boruto's cases. Despite him being only 25% Namikaze and 50% Hyuga, Deidara could also be from the Namikaze clan, since he shared both of these traits. Plus, we don't know his surname, so who knows? Also, in the 5th volume of Naruto manga, Rock Lee is regarded as one of the many student ninja from foreign villages who have traveled to the Hidden Leaf for the junior ninja selection exams. It seems foreign ninja students are not uncommon for the Hidden Leaf, and who knows, Minato's father could be from another village who has traveled to the Hidden Leaf for the junior ninja selection exams, and just like Rock Lee, he later stayed in the village. That could be the reason why Namikaze is so rare surname in the Hidden Leaf. We know that clans in Naruto, in most cases, have their own unique abilities that are passed down to generations. I think at first Kishimoto had an idea of Namikaze clan, and unique ability of that clan could very well be space-time ninjutsu, because according to the second Naruto databook, which is written by Masashi Kishimoto, Minato was the original creator of Flying Thunder God, but he later changed his mind in favor of giving that technique to Tobirama Senju. It seems at first Kishimoto wanted Namikaze clan to exist, but he later changed his mind. Also, in 2010, if I remember correctly, Masashi Kishimoto said that he was thinking about doing spin-off about Minato Namikaze, where he will be much younger and was intending to draw Minato as a child, but this idea stayed as an idea, and we have yet to see any update on that. Anyway, I guess this is all for today. What do you think about Minato Namikaze and his parents? Let me know in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to this channel for more. Astro Jack out. Bye!